Hi, I'm Mac with P&P Engineering. Today we're going to show you how to install our fuel tank skid for the second gen Nissan Frontier and Xterra. It's the same part and procedure for the Xterra and the Frontier, with the exception of one difference in brackets, which we'll show you when we go through the hardware and tools necessary for installation. So what you'll need is the fuel tank skid, obviously. The skid will come with 6 carriage bolts and 4 metric M8 bolts that will replace the bolts that you take out of your frame. You'll need a 12 millimeter ratchet or wrench to remove the stock bolts from your frame, and a 13 millimeter ratchet or wrench to install all of the hardware that we send with. So you will receive 3 brackets with your fuel tank skid to attach it to the frame of the truck. We'll go through where those bolt on as we show you the installation process. We'll also show you the difference between the Frontier bracket and the Xterra bracket. As with all of the rest of our skids, this is available in 3/16 steel or 1/4 inch aluminum. With either option there, your brackets will always be made in 3/16 steel for strength. So let's go ahead and start getting this installed on the truck. So now that we're under the truck, the first step will be removing the 4 stock bolts that hold on the factory skid plate. You got one on the drive shaft loop, one on the frame rail in the front, one on the frame rail in the back, and the 4th one up above the drive shaft here. The 4th bolt is up above the drive shaft on this cross member that the gas tank fuel strap is attached to. So we'll start there. So now that we've taken the stock skid off, we've mocked our brackets onto our skid. I'm going to show you where they all go. You'll get a small 90 degree bent bracket that'll be on the front outer edge of the skid plate that'll bolt to the bottom of the frame. On the Frontier, you'll get a bracket that looks like this, which will bolt to the rear outer of our skid plate. That'll also bolt up under the frame. The Xterra, you'll get a Z bracket that'll bolt onto the skid in the same place, and it'll jog out of and bolt onto the outside of the frame in the wheel well area. And then the 3rd and final bracket is the tall bracket with the 190 degree flap on it. That'll bolt on the rear inside of the skid plate. All 4 mount locations on our skid plate will bolt into the same locations that you remove bolts from on the stock skid plate. The way I recommend installing this on the truck is to take the 2 brackets off of here, put them on the truck first. We've mocked this up here on our skid plate to give you a better shot and idea of where and how they locate on our skid. Once these 2 brackets are on the truck loosely, we'll take the skid plate with the front bracket bolted on loosely already. Install these 2 bolts loosely so that it holds most of the weight of the skid. Align the rear of the skid and bolt the brackets to the skid plate. So we'll take this under the truck and get it installed now. Okay, so first we're going to install our rear outside bracket. The included hardware that will go right where the stock bracket came off. And let's grab our 90 degree bracket here. That'll go up to the cross member. This will go up to the cross member right behind where the gas tank strap bolts on. Okay, let's grab our skid plate. Alright, so we're going to take our skid plate, hold it up, and bolt the front 2 bolts into the locations that the stock bolts came out of. Okay, now we'll take our carriage bolts, install them from the inside out. That way you'll only need one tool to attach your carriage bolts to and your brackets to your skid plates. Okay. You'll do the exact same thing on the other bracket on the inside of the skid plate by the drive shaft. Okay, now we recommend taking the bracket and putting it inside of the tank so that if you take an impact you've got a hard stop there so that your skid plate can only go up so far before it's a hard stop on the bracket. Once we get all this in, then we'll go back and tighten everything down tight.